Evening, gents. 2-0 home defeat by Snodland. Football has a great way of bringing down to earth after the euphoria of last Tuesday and a win on Saturday. Corley, how did you see that game unfold today?
I think we got what we deserved, if I'm honest with you. I thought we were really, really poor tonight. I think the goal on Saturday masked a similar performance in the final third, if I'm honest with you. I think Jake's done brilliant to score in injury time, but the difference from tonight to Saturday, we've created so many opportunities and missed them. Tonight, our first shot, the first save that the keeper's made has been in the 97th minute from a free kick from 30 yards. And if you're looking at, we had 5 forward players on the pitch at the back end of that game tonight trying to chase for a winner or an equaliser at least. But we haven't done enough. So I'm really frustrated. We should have scored after 30 seconds again. We've then missed that chance. We've had a couple of other opportunities with good balls in the box from Jayden. We've then missed the penalty and then conceded an absolute shambolic goal at the other end directly from that penalty. And then they've scored directly from a corner. So that kind of summarises that night, unfortunately, tonight. It's a real frustrating one. There were some players that had their opportunities tonight that haven't been in the team, that have come back into the team to keep their shirt. And it's been a really poor performance from all tonight, including ourselves.
I mean, that's fair enough. It's very difficult after a performance like that, Matt, to take positives out of it. But I think there's things you learn from performances like that, and it's how we got to brush ourselves down and look forward to another game in the cup Saturday. But obviously the league is the thing we've really got to focus on going forward. It must be really difficult for you guys when we're getting injuries and players not performing as you'd hope. What's your thoughts on that?
I think firstly, like I said, I've just said it to the players, we're not going to win the FA Cup, so as great as it is and the achievements of what we've achieved in terms of the performance levels of the FA Cup this season so far, we've got to match that in the league. Being motivated away at Chichester and the amount of running we've done, and look, we've got 1 or 2 missing from tonight. We've got no Jevon, we've got no obviously Macca's had to come off. We've got no Finn O'Mara, no Theo, and I think it just shows that we're not, in terms of the strength in depth, we're not where we need to be, because last year when we had 3 or 4 missing, we brought 3 or 4 in and the levels were the same. We were nowhere near it tonight, like in terms of the level, the understanding of the game, what's required to win a game of football. And I thought, again, like I say, we've already lost Finn, then we lose Macca, so we've missed a penalty, we've conceded a goal and lost our captain all within 30 seconds. And I think the recovery and the reaction to that from the players on the pitch, from us from the side, it wasn't good enough. I think we've probably very rarely, certainly this season and probably for 35, 40 games last year, had to apologise to supporters. But I think we do tonight. I thought that was that bad that I really feel like we've had 400 odd people here tonight coming out, giving up their time and money, and we haven't given them anywhere near a level of performance that we should be. And I think Saturday is about getting through the game without picking up any more injuries, getting some players back fit, ready for Hive. I think the Hive is, for me, our cup finals are not FA Cup games. Our cup finals are these league games, and our players and us have to recognise that, because the target's on our back. You can see by the way they celebrated tonight's win and the goal they scored, and fair play to them. Fair play to them. They don't get 400 fans at home. They haven't got the calibre of players that we've got, and they've come here and they've won the game fairly comfortably without us really laying a glove on them. So we have to give them credit for that, but we've got to look at ourselves and look at what we've got inside that dressing room. And I said it a few weeks back, we've lost to Sutton 4-1 already, and we've lost here 2-0 to them after 8 games, and we were in a similar position this time last year where we start weren't great in the league, and if we look at it after 8 games, it's not a great start. We've only won 3 games out of 8. That's not good enough. So that is the honest start reality of our start to this league season. And I think we've got to have those honest conversations in the management team. And without our better players unavailable, we've got to look at the strength and depth and be able to be better when certain players are missing, because we're not going to go through the whole season with the main players all available. So when them players are not available, what comes into that team has got to be able to deliver a better performance, and that's our job. And I think we got that right last year. We did really well with it, and I'd back us with our experience to be able to do the same again this year. But we've got to do it and do it fast.
Yeah. So, Coyley, that what was the half-time team talk like? Because that must have been difficult in itself. Then to come out and concede a goal directly from a corner, I think it went straight in. It was a tough one. I mean, how do you get the boys motivated for going forward?
I don't think it's motivation, Andy. It's not motivation. There was just some poor performances individually in key positions tonight that cost us goals, and even into the extent of you're looking at it, even if we don't make the mistakes, we never look like scoring a goal tonight. And I can't remember the last time since we've been at this football club I can't remember the last game where we haven't scored in. It's been many months, and it's unfortunate tonight. There was some big players. It just shows you the importance of Splatty. I thought Finn O'Mara was a huge miss tonight. I think he's been unbelievable recently. And unfortunately, as I said, there were some below performances to too many players tonight. And as I say, for all the frustration we had on Saturday for the chances we missed, we looked like we was going to score. We created so many opportunities. Tonight, as I said before, our first shots come in injury time from 35 yards. So there's definitely an issue there that we're going to have to look at. And as Matt said, we've got to look at the depth of the squad, because ultimately we're not going to have all our players, our main players, always available, and we've got to have better quality when they're not here. So it's frustrating evening. We're not going to sit here and berate the players and pick out individuals. It's a collective one tonight, and we've always worked that way. It's the management team haven't delivered tonight, the players haven't delivered tonight, and it's a together one, and we need a real response on Saturday to try and nurse a team through the game ultimately. But our focus, as Matt said, is going to be Hive now. That's going to be our cup final, and we need to bounce back after tonight.
Yeah, and Matt, just finally, training. I don't know if we're going to have a session on Thursday, but they look some tired, physically tired, and I think tired mentally. I think some of the lads out there tonight. You probably would want them in for a session for a game like we've got coming up on Saturday. So it's tough for you guys, I think, just to get your heads around how to manage the players.
Yeah, I think it's not our first time in this situation with such a disappointing performance, and we've lost 2-0 to two catastrophic errors. That if you take those two errors out of the game, both teams we've drawn 0-0 without really a shot on goal in 90 minutes. It just shows you the level of the game. And I think, we need to come in on Thursday. Whether we can do anything physically, probably not. But we've obviously had the game for Hungerford watched tonight. And that's what we just said to the players. Like, as a club and as a group, everything that we do is done to above and beyond this level of football. And like, somebody's got to train tonight for 3.5 hours down to Hungerford to watch a game of football, to deliver us the information for be able to us to deliver that to the players on Thursday. And that's what disappoints me when we throw in performances like that, because what these boys are also given by ourselves in the football club in terms of information and understanding, etc., etc. And we saw against Chichester, and we saw against Dulwich, and we saw against Hollands and Blair what that information leads to. That's a bit of a kick in the teeth for us, I feel. And like I say, I'm hoping that with that information, but we'll be in on Thursday, regardless of whether that's here or in a meeting room. We will be in together on Thursday, analysing tonight, and certainly looking at Saturday, because regardless, we've got to patch a team up for Saturday. Regardless of who that's against, we've got to patch a team up, and there will be opportunities for players that have maybe underperformed today to perform better whilst the other boys are still nursing injuries prior to the Hive game. And if they don't perform again on Saturday, then the boys that are out come straight back in. And in the mix of that, we look at obviously strengthening the squad. So, like I said, I think, like Jamie said, there's no lack of motivation from the players. I think what there is there's a gap in between the players that play and some of the boys that are not playing. And I think as harsh as that is, the reality is there for us to be seen. In the games that we're not competing and the games that we're not winning, that gulf is starting to grow. And the boys that are not in the team and giving performances like tonight have got to bridge that gap quickly, or we have to bring one or two in. That's the reality of it. This season, we know as a management team what this needs to look like come May. We know what it needs to look like. And it's not Wembley, it's not the FA Cup, it's not the Kent Cup, it's getting out of this division.
Yeah.
And that is the harsh reality of it, and we've got to deliver it. So some people will be on the journey and some people won't, but we can't fail this football club of getting this team out of this league. That's our job, and we know that, and we're quite capable of doing it, but performances like tonight have got to stop.
On that note, thanks for your time, guys. Brush yourselves down, and let's look forward to the next game. All the best.
No worries.
Thank you.